So welcome along to Obviously Fight Talk, and I'm delighted to say we are now joined by UFC welterweight Darren Till is joining us via call here. So Darren, thanks a million for taking the time to come on and chat to us here at Obviously Fight Talk.
No problem, mate. I hope you're all okay. Thanks for having me.
Very good. Yeah, in good form. I imagine you're in pretty high spirits as well, just coming off a very dominant victory in your last outing in the UFC. And then getting the matchup with Donald Cowboy Cerrone on October 21st in Gdańsk. But I sort of, in a way, Darren, we've watched, when we first contacted you to come onto the show, you went on another podcast called MMA Hour, I think it's called, which is understandable. But so we've got the opportunity to listen to a lot of your shows, and I noticed a lot of what they didn't talk about was where you started off. You didn't dip your waters first in mixed martial arts. It was more Muay Thai. And when we shared about your victory, the first comment from Lar Bourne here in Ireland was, you got to get him on, and he was speaking about Muay Thai. So in a way, just the Muay Thai background, how difficult was it to move from Muay Thai into MMA?
It was difficult because Muay Thai stance is such a different stance to MMA. Like, you know, we stand high, we're not worried about obviously takedowns or anything. So, you know, it was a hard transition, but that's why when I did transition over to MMA, I sort of like forgot about Muay Thai for a while. I just wanted to concentrate really on I wanted to consider myself a ground fighter and a wrestler, if you should say so. So like Muay Thai wasn't really a worry when I transitioned over to MMA. I just said to myself, right, let's be the best ground fighter and the best wrestler you can be. Do you know what I mean? So that it was a hard transition, mate. But you know, I feel like I've transitioned well over to MMA. You know, I'm still unbeaten as well, which is a good thing, innit?
Yeah, when you go back and you train your striking and you're training Muay Thai, do you train in the same way as you would, or have you adjusted it completely different in the way you train for MMA?
That's a great question. I've adapted both styles, so I've kept some of my Muay Thai, you know, because Muay Thai, for traditional Muay Thai fighters, we're really one strike specialists, you know, we won't throw a lot of combination shots. So it's good to have both. So that's what I do work a lot on in the gym, is keeping my Muay Thai, because I think it's very important in MMA, but also, you know, having a good tempo, like lots of combinations and kicks and whatever. So I still keep the Muay Thai, but I still, you know, want to evolve and obviously try new things. So it's a bit of both. But yeah, it was a good question.
As well, something that we put up since the announcement, I'm sure you're aware, I don't know if you pay much attention to the likes of social media and Twitter and react or interact or even get annoyed by fans, but since the announcement of the Cowboy fight, a lot of people have said this is too big of a gap. You'll be showing up in this fight. What's your general opinion to people that think like that, or does that even affect you, or do you even play in your mind?
I just don't give a fuck about them, mate. They can say what they want. At the end of the day, if Cowboy Cerrone came into Muay Thai, we'd consider him an amateur. So what does that say? He wouldn't be considered no top level striker in Muay Thai. Let me tell you that right now. So what's the difference? You know, he's a lightweight. I just don't see how he's going to take me down. You know, he is a black belt. I respect his black belt skills, but I don't see him tapping me. And, you know, on the feet, mate, I just don't see what he's going to do to me. I don't see where he can bother me. I just don't see it, you know. And you got people like Brendan Schaub and that, you know, and he's saying he doesn't know me. You know, he's disrespecting me or whatever, saying this and that, saying that, you know, Cowboy shouldn't be taking this fight. So why shouldn't he be taking the fight? I think let's get it straight. I'm unbeaten here, like, you know, I'm unbeaten. No one's been able to beat me. So, you know, what do I do? Do I just stay on the prelims? Do I fight in no one? You know, guys who, you know, can't I move up? Is this what the world's come to? I can't move up now. I can't fight these big guys. Is this what it is? A big gap? I'll fucking show them what it's going to be, a big gap on Fight Night when I crack them on the chin.
That's one thing as well, that even when Robbie Lawler, I don't think, Donald Cowboy Cerrone, when Cerrone had said he doesn't know who we are, I don't think necessarily that was disrespectful, and you did say that yourself in an interview with...
Yeah, he was the only guy that didn't disrespect me, you know. He was like, I don't know him, but I'm not bagging the dude, like, I just don't know him, which is fucking fine. Why should he know me? But now we're fighting and that's it. There's no disrespect between me and Donald. I just want to beat him up. I just want to I want to batter him. That's what I want to do, and he wants to do to the same to me. But just because he doesn't know me, I'm going to get all disrespected. Listen, I don't care what people say. I don't care about social media. None of that gets to me, and I do look at it and I just laugh. Like I just don't give a fuck what anyone says. I really don't.
Do you think, in some ways, Darren, that it's a little bit of the unknown that, you know, for a man from Liverpool, you know, you came up more so through the Brazilian regional circuit in MMA. So you took your UFC debut. I think it was on 9 days' notice. So is it a little bit of the unknown that people are just writing you off because they don't know that much about you?
I just don't care, mate. The unknown or whatever it is, it's a fight that's happening. I don't care. You know, so people are saying Cerrone should be fighting him and him and him. I don't pay any attention to it. They offered me the fight. I said yeah, and you know that's I'm going in to fight. I'll be going in to take his chin clean off. So you know, let these people talk. Let Brandon Sharp go on his podcast and talk. Hasn't he got better things to talk about? He should be worrying about the fucking 10 knockouts he had in his career.
One thing that I found very interesting about it was that pretty much as you finished up your last fight, the next fight was on the table and you're probably straight into training camp. How was that different? Because I'm sure after a fight you kind of want to stop and almost celebrate your victory, but this time you're going straight into a camp, into another big fight. So how do you adjust from, you know, taking some time off normally into this situation?
I don't go straight into camp, mate. People who go straight into camp, they're not champions. I train all year round. I always trying to be the best martial artist on planet Earth. As I keep stating, I feel like I am the greatest fighter. So if I feel like I'm the greatest, why would I not be in camp all year round? So it's not one of them coming out of camp, coming out of a fight and going back into another camp. It's just coming out of a fight, having another week off and going back to the gym to train, to do what I like. And you know, training's hard, mate, weight cutting's hard, everything's hard about the fighter's life, but I was born to do this shit. I really was. So I don't care, you know, offer me Donald straight after. They could offer me someone else and I'll say, yeah, let's go. I don't care about the money, I don't care about this. I just want to fight and I want to prove that I'm the greatest fighter on planet Earth, and that's the only goal I have right now.
There was something there as well on social media that you put out yourself, Darren, as well. When Thiago Alves fell out of the Mike Perry fight, you put it out there saying, I believe he's looking for an opponent. Was there no official approach on your behalf for that fight, or was it just an idea that unfortunately didn't come to fruition?
Mate, I just got off Twitter. I just got off out the gym and I looked on Twitter and someone had tweeted me saying, take the fight against Mike Perry, he hasn't got an opponent. So I wrote it, and then after it, I think someone had tweeted me back saying, no, he's got an opponent. I said, oh, okay, next time. But people were like, half of people were like, he's fucking great, this, that, and the other people were like, that's fake. But it wasn't fake. If Sean would have rang me and said, would you take the Mike fight? I'd be like, I'll take the Mike fight, and don't forget to keep the Cerrone fight, because I'll just beat the both of them. So with me, mate, I want to fight. I just like fighting. I don't care who it's against, I'll fight anyone.
You spoke about the weight cut being hard. Is that something that could you have made the weight at that time? Because I know that on the couple of interviews you've done, you called yourself, and I don't know if I'm getting the quote right, it's 210-pound gorilla or something like that.
Yeah,
would you have been able?
Me, mate.
Would you have been able to make the weight?
Yeah, of course I would have, mate. I've made, you know, I know I missed weight once, but that's once in my career. That's that. I put that down to a long layoff, you know. I feel like everyone should get a little second chance. And my last fight I made championship weight. I would have made that weight. Trust me, 100%. I know I would have. Right now as well, I'm not the 210-pound gorilla anymore. I'm the 195-pound gorilla. So it's come down 15 pounds since then. I've trained hard this week.
Do you think as well, Darren, like you're so young with the experience that you've had in Muay Thai and now MMA, do you feel like even the injury that you had that kept you out so long, do you feel that made you mentally stronger and gave you more time to focus on the mental side of things to come back from such a career-threatening injury?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, that could have played a part. But I've said on I said on the MMA hour, I think it was, I've always been since a kid a mentally strong person. I've never, you know, I don't worry about a fight. I don't worry about a lot of things in life. And, you know, I've always said to myself, I can get over anything. And, you know, I haven't had a bad upbringing, mate, but I've been through a lot of shit. And, you know, that 2 years off, yeah, maybe it did make me mentally stronger because it was my first proper injury as well, you know, like my first real injury. So, yeah, you know, everything in life makes you mentally stronger. You either break or you don't. You know, it's simple as that. You either break or you don't, or you fight back. And, you know, I'm always fighting, mate.
One of the heaviest stacked divisions is the welterweight division as well. You had the likes of RDA move up as well and destroyed Neil Magny there as well. So currently you're not ranked in the top 10 or top 15 at the moment. Realistically, the victory against Donald Cowboy Cerrone, you said it's anyone, anytime, anywhere. But I know you're not going to look past a certain fighter, but do you see your path to championship gold?
I am going to be the champion, mate. You're speaking to a welterweight champion here. That is a fact right now. I know that. But, you know, rankings and that, shove the rankings up their asses. I don't want the rankings. I don't care about the rankings. I want the belt. I want the belt, and I want to be considered the greatest fighter who ever fought in the UFC. That's my goal. That's what I do every day. That, you know, I don't care what people say. Oh, we could get to number 5. I don't give a fuck about number 5. I don't care about number 1. I want the belt.
So realistically, you know, without taking rankings into effect, how close are you to a title shot? Because a win over Donald Cerrone, who's kind of been in there and abouts, that must put you very, very close.
It puts me close. It could put me, you know, it could put me anywhere. It could put me 2-3 fights away. It could put me 1 fight away. Do you know, the closer it is obviously better for me. But, you know, mate, as I've just told you, I like fighting. So I'll fight until that belt comes to me. And the belt is coming. The belt is definitely coming to me. It's just a matter of when. But, you know, if that puts me closer beating Donald, well, I'm happy with that. If the UFC think, oh, you know, it's Till's close, let's get him another fight. You know, I appreciate it. If they say no, let's give him 3 or 4 more, I appreciate it as well. I don't care.
A big thing and a big discussion that always happens as well is a lot of fighters had, like Dan Hardy, when he was active in the UFC went to Nottingham, it goes to Manchester for Michael Bisping. There's a lot of talk of UFC Liverpool as well. You only have to look at Cage Warriors when Paddy Pimblett is fighting. The atmosphere is what you can. It was almost like to us here when the UFC comes to Dublin, it's insane, kicks over, especially when it was Conor headlining. We had Ergo fighting. So what would it be like to see Darren Till on a UFC main event in Liverpool? What would that mean to you? Or does it in a way, obviously it'd be a dream to fight in your hometown, or would you prefer to do it in Vegas to win the championship there, or would you love to bring the UFC to Liverpool?
I've got one word for that, mate. Historic. I think it'd be historic. You know, I'm the first Liverpool lad to main event a UFC. That's a record there. Yeah. I'll be the first lad to be the main event of the UFC in Liverpool, and you will see what Scousers are like when they support their own. There is no other species like it. It's the same as the Irish. Honestly, that would be a memorable night. I'll carry that with me forever. So if they offered me Vegas and they said you can have Vegas or Liverpool, it's Liverpool all the time. That's where I want to fight.
I just want to get, I don't know if you caught it, was over the weekend. It was obviously the fights you had the UFC and you had the boxing as well, but just I'm always interested to see a professional fighter's opinion. Did you watch the Canelo Golovkin fight, and what did you think of the judging on that? Again, it's something that would have come into effect with you when you go to the judges' scorecards. How uncertain is it for fighters with the standard of judging in both sports?
It is what it is, mate. I watched clips of the fight. I didn't get to watch the fight, sorry, but it is what it is. Sometimes you get a bad decision, sometimes you get a lucky decision. It is what it is. You can't cry about it. It happens. When it happens, yeah, it's shit that it happens. If you've won a fight and you get a bad decision, you know, it's shit, but it happens. You know, just don't be crying about it. You know, it's one of them things, mate. Honestly, sometimes judges can see it another way. They really can. Sometimes judges shouldn't even be judges, but you know, what can we do? You know, is it about, you know, you get loads of opinions on this. I really haven't got an opinion, mate, you know, because there's nothing what can I say, you know. Sometimes people are on the end of bad decisions and sometimes people are on the end of lucky decisions. It just is what it is.
Just to swing it back into Donald before we let you go there as well, the Donald Cowboy fight. 5 rounds, does it make any difference in your preparation or the game plan to the fight?
Just train that little bit extra hard. Get a few more rounds in, you know, be prepared for the championship rounds. If I want the belt, I've got to be prepared for 5 rounds. You get fighters that prepare them for, you know, 3 rounds. You know, the fight in Rotterdam, I didn't prepare for 3 rounds. I prepared for 5 rounds. All my pad sessions and everything, they weren't just like 3 rounds. They were 10 rounds. So I was prepared in the Rotterdam fight for a 5 rounder. I'm always prepared, mate.
I know you have a huge following here as well, Darren. Like we said, when we announced that you were coming on the show, or even when we just announced your last victory, we had a lot of the Muay Thai community here message us and get on to us about you. So there's a huge support here in Ireland, as I'm sure you're aware after doing the podcast as well here, Talking Brawls and other podcasts. So we wish you the best of luck going forward in the future, not just in the Cowboy fight, but the rest of your career. I have to say, I'm a big fan of watching your style of fighting. I'm a big fan of your confidence and your belief as well, and your personality. And I definitely believe that gets you somewhere in the game as well, but you have to back it up. And Darren Till, you do that every time.
Thank you very much, my man. I just want the Irish fans, mate. Honestly, I get so many messages from Irish fans daily. Honest to God, I feel like after Scousers, the Irish is just like my second people. It's unbelievable, you know. I've got a lot of friends in Ireland who fight. Actually, one of the guys who trains with Conor McGregor, Cian Cowley. You know, he's a guy I speak to all the time. So it's just good having that support from such a powerful country, mate. So thanks very much.
That was the one thing I was leading with the Muay Thai. Is Cian Cowley is now transferred over to SBG now as well, and unfortunately he had his debut and he was on the wrong end of a loss, unfortunately. But that's why I was sort of asking you about the transition from Muay Thai to MMA, because Cian, with his huge following here.
Shit happens, mate. He lost. He lost and he's back on the wagon. You know, that loss will make him stronger, mate. Shit happens. You know, life is not all highs. Life is lows and life is highs. It's a mixture of both. So, you know, get back on the wagon and get on with it, innit?
Excellent, 100%. I look forward to watching you fight, man. Thanks for taking the time to come on
to
us today.
See you later.
Cheers. Thanks a million, Darren. Take care, man.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.